What is happening, guys? Martin is back again. You know where we are, so let's get into it. So, guys, a quick reminder. Someone just put an interesting comment on there that I just saw before about why the ironing board. And again, guys, I'm just trying to remind for those that actually have their own place and live that bachelor lifestyle. There'll be times, guys, when you have to do your own ironing. Don't always have somebody else to do it for you, and that's the reality of it. So I leave that there as a reminder, because obviously we all have a goal. Unfortunately, guys, with my circumstances, I'm not in a position to have a nice luxury balcony in Florida looking over, some marina or something like that. So that is a reminder, guys, for me just to keep doing what I'm doing, stay on my hustle, and we'll keep going, guys. So as you can see, guys, we're going to get into it now in respect of Zara fragrances. Again, quick rundown for you on the take of this new edition by Joe Loves, aka Joe Malone, which is a subsidiary of Joe Malone, which I understand it to be. And this is in the male department, guys. This isn't the female department. So I understand there are potentially a number of other bottles available, but they don't seem to necessarily be on the male website. So, guys, first things first, this one, Bohemian Bluebells. I'm just clicking on this for you now. Let's get into it in respect of what I came across and my thoughts on this particular fragrance. So Eau de Parfum, guys, as you see, it's 100 ml. They're charging £26, which again I feel is quite expensive, but nonetheless, maybe you're paying for the brand. It's talking about notes of lavender, sandalwood, and musk. For me, in all honesty, guys, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. This to me smelled like an old woman. It really did not have any type of I don't know if it's the mixture of the lavender and the musk, but it smelled to me like something which was aged. If that's the only way I could describe it. It doesn't smell like a masculine fragrance to me. As I say, all of these fragrances, in my opinion, appear to be unisex, but this one did smell more like a elderly type of smell, maybe more towards the female side of things than a masculine side of things, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Unfortunately for me, I just was not really, I smelt it and I was put off straight away, and this definitely isn't in my list of fragrances to consider whatsoever moving forward. The idea of it seems nice. It depends. Maybe it's a acquired taste, but for me, it just didn't really work. Moving on to the next one, guys. This is Fleur de Patchouli, which I think is actually quite a good fragrance. I personally, at some point, may even purchase this one if I, again, feel the inclination to do so. But in all honesty, right about now, I don't really feel I want to do so because, again, the longevity issues. This one, for those that like patchouli fragrances, it is a nice fresh type of fragrance. It does remind me of a number of fragrances have patchouli in it, but if you imagine slightly more floral fragrances, it is fresh. It's not aquatic as such, but it is like a fresh, crisp type of fragrance. And for me, it was pleasant. There's not really much I can say about these fragrances though, guys, because as I say, these were sprayed in the store. First impressions. Alongside this of Ebony Wood and this one, this would have been my second choice, but I just felt that once the dry down sort of to dissipate from the patchouli with that type of like floral opening, again, it didn't really give me much of an idea as to what the fragrance was, and it's difficult when you're spraying it, smelling it in the store, because it's hard to really tell if that's really going to last for any period of time, because that seems to be the issue right about now. So unfortunately, guys, again, I'm not really in position to give you too much detail on these fragrances. You can see there that this is a black dot, so I'm not sure what that really says in respect of what that's supposed to mean for these fragrances. But unfortunately, guys, for me, I decided to leave this one. Nice floral patchouli scent, but it doesn't really, slightly sweet as well, but it doesn't really say much more than that. And I do feel it's slightly more of a female type of fragrance. Ebony Wood, as you know, guys, I've already done a review on that one, so if you'd like to check that one out, please check out the previous video. I'll put a link in the description. Don't need to get into that one, but that is one I've purchased, and I've done my 12 hours later video on that one and my first impressions video on that one. Moving on in respect of, I'm going to go this one. Now, unfortunately, guys, for me, because I smelled all of these in one go, it was very difficult for me to decipher between what was and what wasn't, in what direction these things were going. When you smell these things in the store, it can be somewhat difficult, as you say, to, especially in Zara stores, for what can happen You can find that a lot of people around you, they're spraying it at the same time, so you don't really get the opportunity to smell the fragrance as such as I would like to spray it and like to smell it. But unfortunately, I don't get a chance to smell it in that way because people are there and people are in your way, and there's only so much you can do. So unfortunately, guys, unfortunately, this one I can't really give you a definite this smells like X or Y, because I would have just looked like a weirdo stood in that shop. Bergamot, mandarin, and orange flower. So again, all I could say, to be honest, guys, it's slightly more on the feminine side. It's not a masculine fragrance. Didn't really give me much to go away with and say this is definitely one that goes slightly towards this direction and that direction. It just is what it is. You need to go and get your nose on it. Because even though we can try and review fragrances, guys, when 8 fragrances come out in one go, or 6 fragrances come out in one go, unless you have the opportunity to sit down or you purchase those fragrances, which I definitely won't be doing in this instance, it's very difficult to really give you a precise description of the fragrance. This one, again, guys, I don't think this was available when I went to the store. It talks about grapefruit, mandarin, and vetiver. So I can't really comment on it because it wasn't available when I was there. Vetiver pamplemousse. Sounds good, but again, there's not really much I can say about it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get my nose in that one. So I'll leave you guys, if you can, in the description. If you smelt it, by all means, guys, let the community know what your thoughts are on that particular fragrance. In respect of Fleur de Orange, for me, guys, this was quite a nice one. You can see the box has this, as you say, this orange, and it was quite a floral orange type of smell. Neroli ylang ylang orange flower. It's a nice one. It did remind me a little bit of the Boss Hugo Boss fragrance that's in like a, if you imagine like a ball shape. Doesn't come to mind the name of it off the top of my head, but it did remind me of that one slightly. But again, it is a orange based scent. So if you're into something maybe slightly more along the lines of summertime, fresh, orange, again, nice. Dry down was nice. The opening was nice. Again, it's a floral orange though, because it's slightly along the line of, I say, more feminine type of fragrances, in my opinion. It's not really a masculine type of orange, but I think you could still wear it nonetheless. I didn't pick up any particular musk or anything like that. They'll take it slightly more on the more masculine, not bitter side, but a little bit heavier. It just seemed to be quite a nice floral orange smell. Potentially you could spray it in a number of situations, but I wasn't really convinced enough for me to want to purchase it and spend £26. Just wasn't motivated enough for it on that one. So unfortunately, guys, for me with these fragrances, there's quite a little bit left to be desired. I'm just trying to go back. I don't know why it's not doing that for me now. Oh, what's going on? Hold on. Okay, so we seem to have been kicked out of that one. Let me go back to it. So yeah, it didn't really leave much for me to desire. So all in all, guys, again, I went for Ebony Wood. My second choice would have been Fleur de Patchouli, but outside of that, it's somewhat sparse in respect of information because I'm just not motivated by what I'm smelling, and I just felt as if, you know, for what it was, the price point, it's been a bit of a waste of time. It doesn't work for me. If you guys have your nose on it, by all means, just remember that this is my opinion and this is my interpretation. What works on my skin, in line with my skin chemistry, may not necessarily work for yourself. So please do not try and take the view that if I say something doesn't really work for me, that it won't work for you at all. That's not the aim of these videos. The aim is just to give you an idea as to what my first impressions are and what my thoughts are. If I didn't necessarily do that, then there'd be no purpose of any video whatsoever. And then, guys, I was looking through, a lot of you guys are saying what to buy for Christmas. What would you recommend? I would say, to be honest, guys, if you're going to buy something for Christmas, probably the best bet would be this one. 8.0, 9.0. 8.0, again, these have both been reformulated from when they originally came out, but 8.0, especially with this watermelon type of element to it, with a mixture of this, I think it's got a mint note in there. A lot of ladies like this fragrance, guys. I've worn this on many occasions. I don't wear it as often now because I'm not a particular fan of it, but nonetheless, the ladies' reactions has always been positive. Many times I've had compliments wearing this, and it's one of those fragrances that has lasted me for a very long time. You don't need a lot. The watery note helps it sort of carry through. The melon keeps it fresh, and I think in the amber it gives it that masculine element with the cedar wood. There's that masculine element there, and the violet, women just seem to like that, guys. So this 8.0 is definitely one I'd recommend. And 9.0 for those that like Dior Homme, for those that like Valentino Uomo, it's along those lines. Again, it's a cheaper version, so do expect a opening of slightly alcoholic note, but that's just the nature of that particular fragrance. The dry down takes it along the lines of, say, Dior Homme and Valentino Uomo, the original version. So nonetheless, guys, if you're thinking what to get for yourself, if you're going to buy a multi-pack, I'd recommend this one. Outside of that, guys, there's another one I'd recommend as well if you've not seen the video already, and that would be, if I can find it, there we go, I'd get a bottle of this if you can. This is quite a nice one, guys. This Nightport Homme 2 Winter Edition. To me, it doesn't smell as like I know there's like a tar note in the original version here, which again has probably been reformulated. But the one I purchased was back in Spain, or probably about a year or two ago now, and this sort of tar note seems to have been died down a little bit in the winter version, but the winter version smells like it's got a slightly more sort of like a mandarin or grapefruit note in there somewhere along the line. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but it says it's got bergamot, lavender, and vanilla. So maybe the vanilla makes it slightly sweeter, and it plays down a little bit on this the lavender note which is in there, but the lavender note seems to be mixed, in my opinion, with maybe like a leather note in the base somewhere along the line. The leather note seems to be played down a little bit in comparison to the original version, or the Nightport Homme 2. And again, it plays up slightly more with a slightly sweeter type of, more playful type of vibe. Now, I don't know if this will particularly go well in winter, but nonetheless, it seemed to last a while on my skin. I'm good, probably 3 to 4 hours or so in comparison to other fragrances from Zara. And it also seemed to give me more to use, more to play with. It wasn't too heavy. I could wear it in a club, I could wear it in the daytime, whereas I think the original is slightly more heavier, potentially, definitely for the winter, definitely for nighttime, whereas this one you could get away probably with the daytime as well. Outside of that though, guys, yeah, it's not really much more I can say on Zara fragrances right about now. Some of you guys asking me for different ones. This I will probably do a review on at some point, but I want to get a lady's opinions on that one before I release that video. And all of these, to be honest, guys, I've probably done some reviews on them already in the past. Yeah, I did get my nose on this one as well. Lincoln Road. It did smell to me, to be honest, like something that's come out previously. It's not something I'm a fan of, and I just thought of leave it there. $9.99. It's neither here nor there. Some of you guys still going on about Vibrant Leather Cologne. It's definitely not one for me. This is from Paris to New York, or Dior Homme Sport, and it's just not really in my collection. I don't particularly wish to own a bottle of this one, and the Paris from New York bottle I had, which previously was out, which Zara don't seem to have on the website anymore, I actually sold that one on eBay as well. So there you have it, guys. That's a quick rundown of the latest from Zara. These again I've already talked about, so I'm not going to get into any detail about those. And as you can see here, guys, I've also got videos up there now regarding these fragrances, over 1,000 views for the Amber Ego one. So again, thanks for that, guys. And that is it. That is the roundup of Zara fragrances as it stands. Quick rundown there, guys. By all means, keep me posted. Let me know if there's a particular fragrance you want me to get into in a bit more detail. And also, I'm going to say the same thing again. This is all truly and fully funded by myself. No one necessarily gives me anything towards this. Some people have made contributions via PayPal, so I do very much appreciate those that do wish to do so. But by all means, guys, if you'd like me to review a fragrance, please do not forget, no different from being on Patreon, please do not forget to leave a comment, like, and subscription. And also, if you'd like me to do a review, by all means, the donation is always acceptable, and always happy to receive that. Thank you very much, guys. I hope to see you soon on the next video, and I hope this rundown gave you some ideas potentially for Christmas, and again, what I would recommend. Some of the fragrances which I also think I'm not going to purchase anytime soon, I'm going to put up a video about that as well. Very much, guys. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys soon. Ciao.